So I was at work and I was thinking about something and it sort of triggered me. And like the alcoholic in me like started to come out and I caught it. But you'll understand here in a second. I was thinking about the influencers and some of the YouTubers I've watched that, have had months of sobriety or even years and they relapse and like their content shifts into like, oh, how I'm dealing with my relapse, or oh, I'm back to a week sober, or like, I don't want to be that. You know what I mean? And I see that kind of content a lot, and I don't want to be that. But when I was thinking about it, I was like, what if I did drink again? I'd look like a fraud. Would I hide and just not make any more, sobriety content? And then, the drinker in me is like, well, you could just make content around rehabilitation, like, oh, having a relapse after a year sober, or I'm drinking again, but I'm going to get sober again. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what I want to do. But that monkey on your back, it's still there. And it did mess with me a bit, like, oh, well, I could just make content on getting sober again, or like why I drank again, or like documenting my drinking experiences. That's how your brain will work to get you to drink again, to like excuse it, to ease, to like make it less difficult to do. That's what it does. Your mind will play tricks on you. Am I going to do that? No. But I'd be lying if I said my mind wasn't trying to find a way. Oh, well, I can continue content. I'll just be that guy that, oh, what it's like to drink again after a year of sobriety. I relapsed again. Like, I'm not doing that. That's why I never uploaded content the past 4 years. I've had so many videos made that just never got uploaded because I knew something about it. I knew I wouldn't make it. This time, I believe I will. I'm never going to say 100%, but it's weird how that alcoholic in you always wants to find a way, But I caught it, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't huge cravings or anything. But my mind did try to play tricks. And I do worry about that. That's why I was so afraid to put content out there for so long, because if you were to drink, you do look like a fraud. To me, it doesn't take the sober time away. My experiences, my tips, my relatability, it's all authentic and it will always be there. But I want to keep going, not only for me, for my family, primarily me, my family, my friends, and everyone that views me on here. I've had more people than I thought reach out to me and thank me and say I've motivated them. I only wanted to reach, my objective was to reach one person. If my content would have sat here with 0 views, 10 views, and no one would have said anything, I would have continued making it. But it's good to know it's reaching people. The videos are getting several hundred hits, and that's more than enough for me. I've had an overwhelming amount of people message me and leave comments. There's like 1% of haters. There's people out there that are like, take a shot, or like they hate, I think some of them are actively like drunk watching sobriety content, and like they're just not ready, and they're posting some crazy stuff, and I don't really pay it too much. I don't pay it too much attention, because when I was drinking or hungover watching sobriety content, I looked at it for motivation. But there's people out there that are really spiteful and angry. Like, I think they project, but that's on them, and that's okay. I just block them, or I just let them leave the comment. It's still engagement for my video content, right? But there are some people that are really rough, and they're not ready, and they may be lost causes. I don't know, but if someone's going to be negative on content they shouldn't even be bothering with if they're intoxicated, I can tell some people can't even type right. They're blasted, and they'll admit it. And it's like, I'm sort of embarrassed for them. It's like, I've never done that when I was drunk. I wouldn't spend my time looking up sobriety content to hate on it. I'd do it for inspiration. But there's a few. There's not many. Most people are very engaging, very thankful, and they express their experiences. It's really nice to see. And like I said, if I would have only have reached one person, that would have been fine with me. But it's been overwhelming, and I'm going to keep making the content. I don't want to sound repetitive. I know I touch up on a lot of the same topics, but that is what it is. I also ramble on, which I mention every video because it's the way my mind works. ADD. But yeah, I was really worried about that even before I made the content. That's why I've had videos in a log years ago, and I didn't upload them. I ended up drinking, and I just delete them out. This time it's different, and we're committed to it. And I knew it would hold me accountable, but that makeshift in my brain's like, well, if I do drink, I can just make the whole, oh, I drank again content. And I don't want that. And I'm not going to do that. If I did drink, I mean, my content probably would shift that way. I would talk about it just to document my experience, but I don't want that at all. Trust me. It sort of scared me that my mind was even thinking like that, but it does that all the time. It's probably going to be that way for a long time. And the more you deal with it, the easier it gets. You get more experience combating it, right? But I've always made like collection videos, gaming videos, comedy videos, but sobriety content's new the past several months. And I'm really glad it's a part of this. I want to really make it into short form for like TikTok and shorts. I'd like to do that. You might end up seeing the same kind of topics, but short form, just so I can get some short form content out there. The algorithm loves short form, especially on TikTok and Facebook Reels. So we'll see. I'm not making that move yet, but I'd like to do that and maybe get the sobriety content onto my other platforms, because like my TikTok, none of it's on there besides me dumping out the last of my rum 9 months ago, which I love that video. I'm glad I filmed it. I'm glad I had it. I should have waited till a year to release that, but I was so excited. I remembered I had it and I had to get it out. And I really like, if you haven't seen it, it's like a 9-month-old video. It was the last of my rum I dumped out, and it's when I made the change. I'm really glad I filmed it. But yeah, I don't want to look like a fraud to everybody, and I have no intention to. But I just wanted to express the thoughts and, the mind of someone who is a drinker, and the way you always try to soothe. When I was actively drinking, there was always an excuse. Always an excuse. My mind would always ease the thought of drinking, like, I'd always find a way to make it rational. That's just the way it is. It's probably like the gambler's fallacy. People that gamble, they always find a way in their brain to go and blow their money. It's like the same concept, same construct, but much different, ideology. But yeah, that's about it. I'm rambling on. I got off topic, but basically, yeah, I don't want to drink again and make content around that, or I'd feel like a fraud, honestly. But yeah, that's about it.